I know a place that's peaceful and quiet. A place where animals play. It's called the forest, but every year we start forest fires. A careless match, a cigarette, and poof, fire. So the next time you're in the forest, be extra careful, okay?
If you knew it was me, would you have listened?
It seems like you can see almost anything on TV these days, from new episodes of your favorite show to the most boring documentaries ever. But have you ever wondered what's in the commercial breaks between them? Well, some companies are willing to do just about anything to get even a little bit of your attention. Today, I'm going to show you 5 more of the most disturbing commercials that you definitely wouldn't want to stumble upon in the middle of the night. Burger King, wake up with the king.
New, the double croissant-wich. Egg and meat and cheese and meat and cheese. That's right. The double croissant-wich. Wake up with the king.
Along with industry giants like McDonald's or KFC, Burger King is considered one of the largest fast food chains both in the United States and in many other countries. It's hard to find someone who has never heard of it, or at least hasn't seen this funny crown. And since fame doesn't just appear out of nowhere, the company had to experiment a lot with its marketing. There have been a lot of such attempts, ranging from quite strange ones to those so successful that they're still recognizable today. And since commercials were still pretty interesting and creative in the early 2000s, someone at Burger King thought it would be a good idea to try something new and make it really memorable. So memorable that you'd completely lose any desire to even go near fast food. We've already seen the result. Some guy wakes up in his bed at home and finds the Burger King mascot by his side, offering him their famous burger. Personally, all of this reminds me of a scene from some horror movie. It's easy to understand those who didn't like the commercial or found it quite disturbing. But the company didn't stop there and soon pleased the audience with a sequel. Another guy is working high up on a construction site. At one point, he notices a mysterious co-worker hiding behind a wide beam on the other side.
Wake up with BK Joe. 100% Arabica beans. Decaf, regular, and turbo strength for you, sleepyhead. New BK Joe. Wide awake with the king.
Not only is the sudden appearance of the giant king's face creepy enough on its own, but he also tries to push the worker down and then acts like it was just a joke. I'm not even sure how I'm supposed to feel about this. The third Burger King commercial I'd like to tell you about is called Double Whopper King Kong, and it completely lives up to its name. Some woman is relaxing at home when she suddenly notices something weird outside the window.
Make room for the Kong-size Whopper. Double beef.
This was the first and last time that someone's reaction to the appearance of the king was shown in a somewhat believable way. In a weird burst of creativity, Burger King rolled out a whole bunch of commercials like this, playing on the rather unsettling look of its mascot. As we've seen in my previous videos, this tactic actually works, so we can't really blame them. Some people found them funny and unusual, while others thought these commercials were too disturbing and simply not fit for kids. In any case, that's all in the past now, so let's move on to the next part of this video. Rejuvenique, electric facial mask.
Well, how does this mask do that?
Well, if you can get the idea of what doing 8 setups a second would do for your stomach, you have an idea of what Rejuvenique would do for your face. Because in essence, Rejuvenique does for the face what exercise does for the body. And the way it does that is there's a control unit that during a facial session actually sends an impulse up to the zones in the mask and actually activates the face and skin to exercise, tighten, and tone.
I think this commercial pretty much speaks for itself. For almost a minute and a half, it describes all the perks that any lucky owner of this creepy mask will get if they buy it. The idea is pretty simple. You put the mask on your face and start hunting rich people. Or you can just enjoy the electric impulses until all your wrinkles or other flaws disappear forever. The only problem with this magical invention is that its designers were clearly inspired by Jason Voorhees from the Friday the 13th movies. Although there's another catch. Apparently, this mask has never been certified by the special authorities that oversee medical devices. But then again, who really cares about that, right? Anyway, it wasn't sold for very long. You could still find this creepy mask on Amazon a few years ago, but now it's pretty much gone from there too. Reviews about its supposed health benefits are all over the place, but a lot of people didn't feel anything at all. Maybe they were even lucky, because some folks complained of quite unpleasant sensations all over their face, both during and after use. And some say it actually helped them, though there's no proof of that. Personally, I think it works fine as a Halloween mask, but I seriously doubt its medical benefits. There are tons of decent similar products out there for pretty much any part of your body. People still buy stuff like this all the time, hoping to fix some of their flaws. They're looking for something quick and cheap so they don't have to put in any effort at all, and the results usually show it. And that's all I have to tell you about the Rejuvenique electric facial mask. Before we move on to our next disturbing commercial, I'd like to ask you to subscribe to my channel if you're interested in this topic and want to see more. Thank you so much. Japanese Yes Milk commercial.
この芸人好きめ集中力がアップすんだよ集中力可愛くね集中力ガシンガシンガシン
If you felt like you just watched something completely crazy, that's a totally normal and often the only reaction people have when they see this Japanese milk commercial for the first time. Its plot centers around two teenagers drinking this strange milk during their school break. One of them gets distracted during class and draws the wrath of his teacher, who tries to hit him with chalk. I hope nobody here had that kind of experience at school. By the end of the commercial, she turns into a giant piece of chalk with a human face, and I don't even know what to say about that. You might think that teenagers weren't actually drinking milk, but something stronger that made them see things like this. But that's absolutely not the case. As I've mentioned in my previous videos, Japanese commercials can be really weird, and this one is simply part of a long-standing tradition. The people who made it are convinced that milk boosts concentration, and what do you need in school if not extra focus on your studies? The crazy plot of the commercial is just trying to get that idea to potential buyers. Actually, it's really creative and funny, except for maybe one thing at the very end. Not everyone liked the teacher's transformation into a huge piece of chalk. Personally, I don't find this commercial particularly disturbing, but I can understand those who do, since that creepy face does a pretty good job of showing the uncanny valley effect. On the other hand, you can find plenty of fan parodies, and they're all quite funny, so people can react to the original in different ways. The milk company didn't stop with their success and made a lot of other commercials, some of which are way creepier.
じゃあ買いに行こう。
Just look at these unnatural movements and facial expressions. If you took the music out and edited the video a bit, it would be like a scene from a real horror movie or some cursed video from the depths of YouTube. You know what? Let's just move on to our next disturbing commercial for today. Autoway, scary Japanese tire commercial. And this commercial is pretty weird right from the start. Viewers are greeted with a warning that asks people with any kind of health issues to refrain from watching. On top of that, the authors of the commercial state that they aren't responsible for any potential health problems it might cause. That's really reassuring and makes you want to watch, doesn't it? The plot of the commercial is quite simple. Two guys are driving somewhere on a snowy road at night. They notice some kind of human-like figure standing up ahead, and it turns out to be a lone woman in a white dress. The guys look at the stranger in confusion until she suddenly appears right in front of their car, causing them to drive off in a panic. I think this is a really good example of a commercial that truly grabs viewers' attention, making them so engaged that they actually remember what it was about, or end up with a lifelong psychological trauma. And if you still didn't figure out what they're advertising, that's completely normal, as you need to know Japanese to get it. At the end of the commercial, we see that ghostly woman again, but this time she's holding a laptop with a big message on the screen asking viewers, "Did you use snow tires on your car?" Basically, it's just a typical Japanese commercial for snow tires, and also a pretty solid PSA about the common dangers of driving in dangerous weather. The only problem is that this kind of commercial might give you a sudden heart attack, and then you won't have to drive anywhere. Some sources claim it was actually banned in Japan because, allegedly, a lot of people really didn't like it, but I personally haven't found any proof of that. It sounds believable enough, but it's a Japanese commercial, so it can easily be super scary and even really unsettling and still be shown on TV without any problems. I actually kind of like it, although I definitely wouldn't want to stumble into something like that in the middle of the night, especially if I'm half asleep in front of the TV. This commercial also kind of reminds me of that PSA about Smokey Bear that I talked about in one of my previous videos. I really recommend checking it out if you haven't seen it yet, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any new videos. Thanks a lot. UNICEF, the Smurfs. This commercial looks like something that should be paired with some disturbing creepypasta you'd find in the depths of the internet, but it's actually totally real. It was made by the Belgian branch of the United Nations International Children's Emergency Fund, an organization dedicated to providing humanitarian and rehabilitative aid to children all over the world. The commercial starts with cheerful music and beautiful landscapes, Smurfs dancing around and having a good time. Nothing hints at any trouble. Then everything suddenly takes a dark turn. Bombs start falling on their village, destroying all the houses in sight. The peaceful life turns into horrifying fires and sadness, which is how the commercial ends. Honestly, it was really shocking the first time I saw it. This commercial was considered so disturbing that it was shown strictly after 9 p.m. so kids wouldn't accidentally see it. Actually, the commercial is dedicated to helping and rehabilitating former child soldiers who fought in the conflicts in Burundi, Rwanda, and the Democratic Republic of the Congo, the former Belgian colonies in Africa. But I think it perfectly captures the atmosphere of horror that kids face in any war. A lot of people find this commercial creepy not so much because of its story or the abrupt mood change, but more because of its pretty bad graphics. It doesn't look great, especially the parts with the bombs and explosions, and it really feels more like some lost footage than an actual commercial you'd see on TV. On the other hand, it does an excellent job of drawing attention to a really important issue that could affect anyone. That was the last commercial for today's video. Be sure to check out my other videos if you like this kind of stuff and want to see more. Thanks for watching till the end.